Good Friday morning. I'm Matt Carruthers. It's that time. Welcome to everybody's favorite 30-minute horse racing program. I'm going to talk this slowly the entire show. No, I can't. This is the biggest weekend of the summer, folks. It's all about Saratoga on Saturday. It's all about the $1 Million Travers and the $1 Million Guaranteed All Stakes Pick 4. And then on Sunday, we turn our attention to the TVG Pacific Classic, and the spotlight in racing shines down on Del Mar. A lot to get to, a lot of races to cover. So right now, joining me from, I guess, his palatial estate, somewhere south of where I'm sitting right now, a man who, he's sort of the George Clooney of this network, not only in terms of looks, but to very similar, what was that bad Clooney film from a couple of years ago, Up in the Air? Is that what it's called? Where he traveled just nonstop. I mean, you were in Royal Ascot a couple months ago. Were you in Japan this year or not?
Yes.
Yep, Japan. You're going to Canada next week or 2 weeks?
Yes, Canada in a couple of weeks.
You were Seattle last weekend?
Seattle last weekend.
And right now you're finishing packing up to drive to Del Mar.
Yeah, exactly. I'm going to leave here in about probably right after the show ends at 9 a.m., Matt. But yeah, you're exactly right. And I even fly the same airline as Clooney, American in there as well.
So you're agreeing when I say that you're the George Clooney of this network. What a surprise.
Yeah. What's not to like about that?
No, but you are very busy this weekend. It's a giant weekend, so I do appreciate you coming on and helping out and being the co-host of this program. So let's get right to it, shall we? Let's get right to the TVG Pacific Classic. It looks like now a field of, 10? Because Bourbon Bay was going to be my selection in this race. I liked Bourbon Bay. I knew he'd get the 1.25 miles, and he looked very good in the Cougar against weaker competition. I liked it, but now a field of 10. Win and you're in, obviously, for the Breeders' Cup Classic. And first of all, before we get to this, what do you make about Blind Luck, who I thought would have been difficult to beat in this race, would have been your favorite? What do you make about her not going in this race? To me, they've been so aggressive and ambitious with her. She must really have not done well over the racetrack, right, in her recent works?
That's exactly right. I mean, she's flown 36,000 miles in 2.5 years. She's run at 7-8 different racetracks. I was kind of shocked because I had a conversation with assistant trainer to Jerry Hollendorf for about 4 weeks ago. That was Dan Ward.
Dan Ward, yeah.
Yeah, and he pretty much said that they, under the radar, they were pointing to the Pacific Classic long before anyone was sort of mentioning it in the press. So I'm kind of shocked. I don't think she worked as well as they'd liked last weekend. She missed the scheduled work on Tuesday. Now they're going to point straight for the latest secret at Oaktree. I'm kind of surprised because, remember, this is a filly that made her California debut over this very surface a few years ago. So unfortunate. She would have been the morning line favorite, I think, in here.
By the way, I like your place. I like the white walls. Is that a hardwood floor you have there?
Yes.
Is that maple?
Yes.
What, is that?
I'm such a voracious reader, Matt. You can see my bookcase behind me, right?
Yeah. Is that a fern or a plant? What do we have there on top of the shelf?
That's a plant. Yeah,
that's a plant. It's not a fern. Okay. All right. I like your place, though. I like your place. All right. So this race. Okay, 1.25 miles is the big question for many. And I think in recent years we've had this race sort of be a battle of attrition to a certain extent. And that's why horses like Richard's Kid that can get the 10 furlongs was victorious in this race in back-to-back years. And I think we might have that again this year, Simon, because you can question the distance for some in here, and you're going to get the pace in here because Acclamation's going to go. I would think Don Cavallo from the inside goes. Game On Dude, Twirling Candy. Don't you think this race could set up for a horse that kind of runs at an even pace and sort of, I hate to say plods home, but sort of does that to victory in this race?
I would agree with that, and that's why I'm not going to go outside of the box here for some of the reasons you mentioned. I kind of like Game On Dude in here. I know he's the second.
Okay.
Yeah, I mean, you talk about proven at the 1.25 mile distance. Yeah. He's running the 2 best 1.25 mile races there are in California this year. He won one of them, and he finished second by a nose in the other one. I don't think he needs the lead. He can just sit there, and as we saw in the Gold Cup, he just kind of grinds it out. He just keeps on trucking and trucking and trucking.
Here's that race sign. We're taking a look at the Hollywood Gold Cup. It was also tough to win on the lead this day. It was difficult. You had a lot of closers that won on Gold Cup day. First Dude being one of them, really, from off the pace to get up and score. Chantel Sutherland's going to be the second woman, I think, to ever compete in the Pacific Classic, the TVG Pacific Classic. Julie Crone obviously won the race years back, I think 2003, with Candy Ride. And I think you could argue, and there's Bob Baffert, who wins with Richard's Kid twice in General Challenge in 1999. He's the trainer of Game On Dude. I think you could definitely argue that he should be favored over Twirling Candy. They've met twice at 1.25 miles, and in both instances, yes, it's been close. Game On Dude has been better.
Yeah, I totally disagree with the morning line. I think Twirling Candy, again, is probably going to get overbet. Twirling Candy is not proven at a mile and a quarter.
No,
We're going
he's
to
not.
do something on our previous show called acceptable odds. What I would find acceptable for Twirling Candy.
Here are those numbers. And Simon, sorry, let me jump in here. What do you make of that last workout from John Sadler for Twirling Candy? He goes a mile and 1:37 and 4. To me, you're a former trainer, obviously. To me, as a handicapper, I look at that as, wow, the trainer really thinks they're going to have a hard time getting a mile and a quarter, so he wants to get a really aggressive stamina drill before the race. Am I looking too deeply into that, or is there something to that?
I think there's something to that because, I mean, the horse should be fit enough. I know he hasn't run since the Hollywood Gold Cup at the beginning of July, but you look at the workouts prior to that mile workout, he's had a good 6 furlong workout, a good 7 furlong workout. Yeah, you're exactly right. It looks like they're trying everything to get this horse at a mile and a quarter. Yeah. And as I said earlier this week, this is a pivotal race for Twirling Candy. It decides where he ends up in the Breeders' Cup, either the Breeders' Cup Dirt Mile or the Breeders' Cup Classic.
Yeah, at a mile and an eighth, he should probably be 3 to 5 in this race. But the problem for him is it's 10 furlongs, not 9 furlongs. Acclamation, I thought he was a specialist over the turf course at Hollywood Park. I guess he proved me wrong by what he did in the Eddie Reed in his last start, although with Celtic Princess being a late scratch from that race, it definitely made things easier for him. And here's Calbreds to have won the TVG Pacific Classic. That's a hell of a list. Best Pal, Bertrando, Freehouse, who I think is one of the most underrated horses over the last 15 years, General Challenge, and Lava Man. I'm not sure if Acclamation's, part of that group in terms of ability. I'm going to go with a horse that can come off the pace. I would love to see Martin Pedroza win this race. I'm going to go with Geronimo to sit off the pace and win. I know the distance could be a problem for him at a mile and a quarter, but I look at his last 3 races, Simon, Geronimo. He's running the lone F horses 3 races in a row. Liberian Freighter again, and then Acclamation, the Eddie Reed. He gets the pace to run at in this race. I like his running style. I like the pace he's going to get. I love the way Pedroza's riding, and the price is good. The other horse I looked at was Stately Victor. I really think a horse like this could win this race at a big price, a stayer at 10 furlongs. Simon's going to go with Game On Dude. I will go with Geronimo in a race in which I really don't have a strong opinion of. We move to our
quick price, Matt. Quindici Man would be my price play on the side at 20 to 1. He ran well in the Santa Anita handicap.
Ken Rudolph likes that horse a little bit, and Ken is sort of the big game handicapper that we have at the network over the years, done very well in races like this. Sunday Spotlight race. The Grade 1 Pat O'Brien, brought to you by WinStar Farm, now standing Colonel John. And it looks like it's going to be a 5-horse field, Simon, because Cara Cortado is going to go in the mile, it looks like, on Saturday at Del Mar and not go in the Pat O'Brien Sunday. So you can probably put a line through Cara Cortado. What do you make of the factor? What's he going to do in this race? He hasn't raced in 4+ months. He's only been on synthetic once.
Yeah, and that was in his debut. When he ran a decent debut, I just question now, the thing about the 3-year-olds, at this time in the year, we have the beauty of now looking back on the races and seeing the quality of the fields that they're facing. In career start number 2, he beat Cook Inlet. Cook Inlet's still a maiden. I know he won by 8 that day. Then he came back and beat Sway Away. Sway Away was okay through the Triple Crown campaign, but you wouldn't consider him one of the top echelon 3-year-olds in the country. The same could be for Celeb's Posse. Ran against Arch in the Arkansas Derby. Okay, he's better sprinting. I think 7/8 is probably a good distance for him. He was going to go to the King Bishop, but I think Baffert saw that race as being too tough. I'm going to play against him. I'm going to look to a horse to the outside. I know we've been down this road many times before with Crown of Thorns.
Oh, yeah. I'm with you. I'm with you here.
He loves
I'm going to lose on Crown of Thorns again.
Exactly. Look, he's had his knee injuries. I had a conversation with Richard Mandela before the Breeders' Cup last year when he unfortunately had to scratch.
You talk to everybody, don't you? Jeez.
Yeah, I do.
Dan Ward, Richard Mandela. Who else have you talked to for the show today?
I'm like Morley Safer on 60 Minutes. I'm very investigative. But Thorns, he's had this knee injury that's plagued him, and he should have had surgery long before he did, apparently, according to Mandela. Now he's all fixed up, ready to go. I think 7/8 is his perfect trip. He loves Del Mar. He's run well. And the horses he's got in his past performances are a lot better than some of the horses like the Factor's been facing, Don Tito and Camp Victory. Crown of Thorns, Garrett Gomez is going to suit this horse to a T.
I love the way Gomez is riding. I like this horse at 7 furlongs. I think the Factor and Smiling Tiger, little mano-a-mano early on, slugfest to produce those fractions that Crown of Thorns needs. I like him as well to win this race. We're finally going to cash on Crown of Thorns in our Sunday Spotlight race. Before we transition to Saturday's great card, at Saratoga. Picks recaps. It was myself and Joe Withey. And let's see, Slew the Man, Diseased. You were there for the Longacres Mile. St. John's River, disappointing to me. I thought, again, that the distance would be perfect for her. Up and, at least I hit with a play of the day last week, Simon, because I've been struggling on this show. I was red hot for a while. The last month, pretty diseased. Southern Ridge ran great for me at 9-1. I thought was going to win that race. Ran second. Chief Energy. I think Pletcher won the Continental Mile with a horse by about 15 lengths. Another loser. Play of the day, I did have a winner here with Midnight Billy that was bet down from 10-1 to 4-1 and did win and pay about $10.40 to help salvage kind of a mediocre weekend. So minus 34.90 as we head to the latter part here of the year, really, as we're getting close to September. So we're going to take our one and only commercial timeout. Simon Bray, somewhere between LA and Del Mar. I'm in the TVG studios in Los Angeles. When we come back, all about the great Saturday card, Travers Day at Saratoga. Welcome back. We talked about Sunday's, part of Sunday's card at Del Mar, including the big one, the TVG $1 Million Pacific Classic. How about Saratoga Saturday? How about $1 million guarantee in the All-Stakes Pick 4? How about the Victory Ride, the Ballerina, the Grade 1, King's Bishop, and the $1 Million Travers, race number 12 on a 13-race program Saturday at Saratoga. Simon, the weather was diseased yesterday in New York. They were taken off the turf. Today, they're fast and good. Friday, only, I think, race number 6 taken off of the turf. The weather's supposed to be nice. Travers Day. And then Hurricane Irene, I think, is going to wreak havoc on the area, possibly on Sunday. So those of you on the East Coast, be careful, stay safe, and hopefully it will slow down a little bit by the time it reaches, New York. And Saturday's going to be okay. And we'll begin with the Ballston Spa. Before we get to that pick 4, Simon, mile and a 16th in the turf, which I think is going to be firm for tomorrow. It's listed as good today. No rain in the forecast for the next 24 hours. And let's start with Roma Kaka, who I know is not the morning line favorite. First of all, I just enjoy saying that, Roma Kaka. She's won 5 in a row, has Roma Kaka. And Roma Kaka looked very good to me, winning the matchmaker at Monmouth. Here is Roma Kaka doing her thing. She's in front by a mile. And the thing that I liked about Roma Kaka's performance, Simon, is that they went 47 for the half. She was part of that pace, was Roma Kaka, and she still was able to win when you would have thought a closer would have won that race.
No question, mate. I'm on board Roma Kaka.
Oh, Crown of Thorns and now Roma Kaka.
Yeah, here's the reason why. Roma Kaka can adjust to any scenario. 2 starts back, they went a half and 46. She shows the ability to come from off the pace. 3 back, when the opening half mile is only 48 and change, she can go to the lead. Roma Kaka is a very versatile animal. Even if the ground doesn't dry out, she's proven over a yielding turf course at Arlington. She has all the boxes checked. Roma Kaka, check.
Did you talk to Mr. Calabrese or Nick Canani? Because I know Mr. Calabrese, social guy. I like Frank a lot. Did you talk to him? Talk to Nick Canani?
No, I didn't. No. But I put a call into Roma Kaka.
Okay.
Didn't pick up.
She wins this race. She's probably gonna have her own website. Let's get in. I think we'll reveal the pick 4 tickets at basically the conclusion of the show. Well, our Saturday play of the day will be the conclusion of the program. Victory Ride, Grade 3. I think it's a field of 10, right? But 9 betting interests in this race, and the pace is going to be, I think, torrid's an understatement. Because you have two of the fastest fillies in training in this race. Jealous Girl is beyond quick, the 2. Jeremy Rose for Tony Dutrow. And I'm very familiar with Roman Treasure, the 9. She is so quick. I liked her in the test. She missed the break, and she was still 2 in front at the half-mile pole. She actually ran pretty well in defeat because of the bad break. I mean, what kind of fractions are we going to see in this race?
This is lightning quick. This is going to be 21 and change, 44 and change to the half mile.
You might see 21 and 1 type opening quarter here.
No question. And that's the reason I think this horse sets up for a closer. And I like a filly in here quite a bit.
Really?
That's trained by Bob Baffert at 6-1 on the morning line. And that's AZ Warrior for Martin Garcia.
Really? It's surprising me a little bit here. Okay, explain yourself.
Yeah. This is a filly that's turning back in distance. I've always said since the beginning of the year, I always thought the West Coast 3-year-old fillies were maybe a slightly stronger group than the East Coast. And that
I
was
recall
proved
you saying
out.
that. I recall you saying that.
That's proved out with the Santa Anita Oaks. You can see Turbulent Descent's gone back east and won a couple of times. Zazu has gone back and run well in the Kentucky Oaks. She subsequently won the Hollywood Park Oaks. Mayday Rose was lost in the Santa Anita Oaks for Baffert. She went and won a stake at Oaklawn Park in the spring. But I think AZ Warrior, 1, is a better sprinter. 2, she comes out of some better races, and she's proven on the dirt. She won the Frizette around 1 turn at Belmont. I think 6, with all this pace, she'll come rolling late for Martine Garcia at 6-1 on the morning line.
I'll never get on somebody for thinking outside the box. That's what you're doing a little bit. I disagree with you, but I respect your viewpoint here, and you're going to get a price. I love a horse in this race, too. I'm singling this horse in the All-Stakes Pick 4. I like Funny Sonny quite a bit. DeSarmo for Bob Hess, and her win, I know it was an allowance race at Gulfstream, but the way in which she finished, I love the fact that she can sit, but yet she's tactically quick enough to place herself into the race. Look at this race. Under wraps to beat not that much, but do it by 10 3/4 lengths. Then she comes back, and I don't know how else to say it. I can't really sugarcoat it. In her last start at Saratoga, a horse broke down in the race. And, she had a terrible trip because of the horse that broke down in front of her. And she still was only beaten ahead off a 5.5-month layoff. Second off the layoff, getting the perfect trip, back on dirt. I really like Funny Sonny. So we both really like prices in the victory ride, both 6-1 shots. Simon likes AZ Warrior. I like Funny Sonny as we move ahead to the Grade 1 Ballerina. Field of 7 going 7/8 at Saratoga. And Hilda's Passion, she either, her A game is really good, but if you don't get her A game, you get a C+ or a D game. Do you think she's going to rebound from a awful performance, to be honest with you, in the Bed of Roses?
Well, who's to know? But her last couple of starts off layoffs, they haven't resulted in wins. She's been favored in her last 6 starts. She's only won 50% of those efforts. So I'm with you. I mean, you tread very cautiously when you use Hilda's Passion, I think. And then you got a horse like Sassy's Image to the outside who beat Hilda's Passion in the humanity staff at this distance. I think both those two are going to get a lot of play. I think both of those are a little vulnerable. I'm going to look to the middle of the field with the 5, Devil by Design.
Really?
She was fourth in this race. Yeah, last year.
You had to have talked to Bill Mott.
Yeah, I didn't actually. The one person I didn't talk to.
Okay.
But she comes out of a Grade 3 in Chicago on the synthetics. It was probably a slightly weaker event, but I like her performance. She fires well fresh. Look at her last year from November to May. Off a layoff, she won going 7/8. She loves Saratoga. 2 of her 6 lifetime wins have been right here over this racetrack. I just think this race is going to set up for an upset.
Okay.
I think that Hilda's Passion and maybe Sassy Image are likely vulnerable in here.
Simon, I'm going to use your Devil by Design. On my ticket does not have the 5. My own personal ticket will. I have no opinion of this race. So if you like a horse as a price horse and I have no opinion, that's where I think that's where people at home can be helped out by some of our on-air tickets and stuff too. You have no opinion in a race.
Right.
You like a horse. I have no opinion in this race. I will use Devil by Design. I ended up going with Hilda's Passion by default. I don't really like anybody. I thought Tar Heel Mom took advantage of a speed bias in the Honorable Miss. Sassy Image, I know she won a Grade 1 in her last start at Calder, but I think she's at her best at Churchill. Tamron Hall, I'm not sure if she's good enough. I ended up with Hilda's Passion. I think she's going to get the lead in this race and might be able to go gate to wire over a track that she likes, but I will now use Devil by Design. The Foxwoods King's Bishop Grade 1, race number 11, 7 furlong event. I have a very good friend who lives in New Haven, Connecticut, tells me that Foxwoods is spectacular. I don't know if you've been there, Simon, but it's like Vegas.
Yeah, I've heard about it.
It's like Vegas. I hear it's unbelievable, the hotels, everything. All right, Uncle Mo. The way I look at Uncle Mo here is since he hasn't raced in almost 5 months, and he had the problems, the liver issues, out of the Wood Memorial. Mike Rapoli was on the air with Greg and I yesterday saying there was sort of life and death really with Uncle Mo. So not only they were worried if he'd even survive, much less run, and here he is in a Grade 1. Don't you think if he's right, he wins this race for fun? And if he doesn't win this race for fun, he finishes off the board? I don't think he runs second or third, does he?
No, it's all or nothing. He's going to win by 4 or get beat by 10.
Yeah, I agree.
And he's got an accelerated work. I mean, he's obviously been working well, but on July 22nd, that was his first work, 3/8 of a mile. And here we are, just a month later in the 7 furlong King's Bishop, taxing distance to come back at off the layoff.
Even though he loves it at Saratoga, I'm going to use Uncle Mo in the All-Stakes Pick 4, almost because I have a price single in the first leg. So I'd hate not hit the Pick 4 that pays a little something because I don't have Uncle Mo. Who do you like in this race as we need to get onto the Travers?
Yeah, I'm going to go with some horses cutting back in distance. I like the 4 Dominus for Steve Asmussen.
I like that pick.
Yeah, a horse who's designed for 7 furlongs. He's run well against Stay Thirsty, who's going to be one of your choices in the Travis in the last leg here after winning the Jim Dandy. I think the cut back in distance is going to be absolutely perfect for him. I think Dominus, and I like 2 or 3 in here. Run Flat Out, and if a horse does get on the lead, the 1 Flashpoint would be tough to run down. But the 3 and the 4, with the 4 Dominus being my top pick in here.
I mean, I like it when horses, they do something completely different and it works. And Caleb's Posse is a horse who's been routing. They cut him back in the Amsterdam, and he freaked that day. So I have to use this horse because he looks like such a superior racehorse now in these one-turn sprints. I end up with Run Flat Out as my top selection. I almost made it the 4 Dominus. I've always liked this horse. He can run on dirt. He looked so good winning his debut at Santa Anita back in January. I don't think routing's his game. Cutting back in distance to 7 furlongs. I like Run Flat Out. Alvarado for Sadler at 8-1 morning line as now we make our way to the 1 1/4 Grade 1 Travers at $1 million. And we need to start, I guess, with your favorite, Stay Thirsty. And based on what he's done at Saratoga, which includes a sparkling effort and win in the Jim Dandy, 48-3, 106 buyer, he should be the favorite, and he is the horse to beat, right?
Yeah, because he won the Jim Dandy so very impressively. It's his racetrack. He clearly loves it there. He crushed a weakish field in the Jim Dandy. I wouldn't say it was one of the strongest efforts, but he is going to be the favorite in there. I'm just a big fan of Coyle. I like what I saw at the Haskell last time. I mean, it had Bob Baffert waxing lyrical about this performance. I mean, he broke from the inside. He rated. He showed a new dimension coming from off the pace. And according to Bob Baffert, he was looking for reasons not to run Coyle into Travis. And after the work earlier this week, the best of 46 reason, he said, I have to run. He was just absolutely phenomenal. He was working with Prayer for Relief, the Iowa Derby winner, started behind him and drew with even terms at the wire and galloped out past him. This horse is doing so well right now. I think I was become a big fan of Coyle after the Haskell.
We're looking at your all stakes pick 4 take. We're both spending $24. I'm singled in the first leg. You're singled to Coyle in the last.
Yeah, and I'm going to throw out Hilda's Passion and Uncle Mo. So hopefully this ticket is designed to get a little bit of a price in the middle body of that ticket, because I used the favorite in the first leg, and Coyle probably will be the second choice behind Stay Thirsty. There's my ticket, $24. But no Hilda's Passion, no Uncle Mo for me.
Well, I'm glad you used the winner, at least in the first leg, Funny Sonny. So I'm glad to see you have the 5 horse. I looked at the Travers. I think Shackelford's going to run a huge race. I know it's a 1 1/4, and maybe he's not a 1 1/4 horse. You look back on Haskell Day. He did not break particularly well. You could not win on the front end that day at Monmouth Park. I thought that was a huge effort to lose that race by a neck against a pronounced bias, in my estimation. So I think he's going to bounce back and run well. And I'm going to go with your former boss and a horse that has pedigree through the roof, as we like to say, Raison d'Etat, the 6 horse, whom, he runs second in the Curlin. The horse who won this race, Turbo Compressor, got an easy lead. Easy lead, 49-3 for the half mile, 6 horse field. I think this horse is just figuring things out. Maybe he's not quite ready for this kind of a test. Father AP Indy, mother Sightseek. He freaked 2 starts back. He ran to a lone F in his last start. I like him. I have to use Stay Thirsty, and then I just talked about Shackelford. And again, I begin my ticket with a single of Funny Sonny. You talked me in to now including Devil by Design in the Ballerina. And maybe, I haven't decided yet on my own personal ticket what I will do with Coyle if I, in fact, do include him in the Travers and spend a little bit more money. But if Funny Sonny can win the first leg, I think I put myself in a decent position to hit this. The $1 Million All Stakes pick 4, you can play for 50 cents. Both of our tickets at $24. All right, Simon, we still have a minute and a half in the program. Saturday play of the day. See, this show has helped you. You got a lot of your work out of the way for tomorrow. See, there's some good to come with this.
Oh, you're exactly right. Let's move to race 7 tomorrow, Matt.
Where?
Del Mar.
Oh, we have the same race. We have the same race.
Oh, we are?
Yeah.
How about the 3, Kate's Event for Jerry Hollendorf?
Oh, not the same horse.
Okay, good.
Was it Dan Ward conversation?
Yeah, not on this horse. Hollendorfer has got 2 horses in here. The 6 Chance of Miracle is going to be the more fancied of the 2. I look for the longer price. Kate's Event, I think, back to sprinting on the main track. Needed that race last time out, 5 furlongs on the turf. That was way too short. Lieutenant Hopeful came back, ran well in the Green Flash. Prior to that, ran long against Uh-Oh Bango as a Grade 3 winner, was 4th in the Triple Bend. Look for Kate's Event to jump up and get back to the form.
Your blinkers off play of the day could be career win number 6,000 for Jerry Hollendorfer, too. Wow,
Yep.
how amazing would that be? I like Schofield Barracks in this race. Last time this horse raced at Del Mar, it was a freakishly good performance, and it was a key race. He runs third by Excessive Passion, who was a really good, I think, Jeff Bondi racehorse, who went gate to wire at Pleasanton. That race was so good. What's the Script was fourth. Goggles McCoy was fifth. Amazombie. I really like Schofield Barracks to win. Simon likes Kate's event. Simon, really appreciate it. Enjoy yourself this weekend. Next time, All-American weekend, Mike Joyce will be Skyping on Blinkers Off.